Hey, I'm Mohak. I'm the founder of Claystack, which is a liquid staking protocol. History of Claystack, that's actually interesting. Before Claystack, I was running a fund and then I was running a staking as a service company where we were like running validator nodes of on bunch of layer ones. We had $200 million of assets under delegation. So because I was so exposed to staking, I felt like lockups are a big challenge in staking. So I started Claystack for a very selfish reason. I just wanted to unlock my layer one liquidity. So I started that MVP and then I started showing it to people and they're like, oh, we actually like it. Like, why don't you develop something, take it forward? Then I'm like, oh shit, there is a real demand for this. And that's how Claystack was born. At that time, liquid staking was a very theoretical concept. So the idea was to make it available for everyone. Initially, we started a bit differently. What we were doing was we were trying to build a bridge from other chains to Ethereum. So what you're doing was like DeFi existed only on Ethereum. So the aim was to bring other chains to Ethereum and bring their liquid staked version instead of the normal asset. But then soon we like DeFi started expanding on other chains, and every chain wanted to have their own liquid staking. So initially we started with like other chains. We started with Polygon, then we launched a couple of testnets like Graph, we launched on Aptos, we launched on Phantom. Ethereum was something which we always wanted to develop on. We've been working on it for a long time. But something that I did not want to do was I did not want to launch it before the withdrawals. I feel like anyone who has done it, they have a lot of technical debt which can never be repaid. In the sense that if you were to start prior the withdrawals or prior the merge, then you have to have a weaker architecture. You have to have a lot of compromises in your architecture. And it's very hard to fix those things once you get TVL. So we wanted to make sure that the architecture is superior from day one so that there is a clear path towards decentralization. I think the biggest change was withdrawals. Withdrawals changed the game of liquid staking completely. So if you see, the growth of liquid staking has been for one primary reason, for leverage. People deposit, let's say, ST ETH on Aave, they borrow ETH, then they do it again. So looping was very prominent, which helped them to grow TVL. And the reason looping worked was borrowing rates were low. And why borrowing rates were low on Aave was because withdrawals were not enabled. So people felt that even if they are lending their ETH on Aave for 1.5% versus 4% for staking, it made sense because they were like, at least we can withdraw it whenever we want versus on in liquid staking before the withdrawals, they're like, we are relying on liquidity pool, which we don't know how long it's going to last. And there has been a few DPEG instances as well. So after withdrawals, that game changed completely. Now the risk of depegging is much, much lesser because even if there is a bank run situation, which means everyone wants to sell their liquid staked asset, then you'll always find like market makers who are willing to underwrite that risk for the unstaking period, which is could be like right now it's few hours, but it could be like months. So I think that was a big change. And one other interesting thing which happened at withdrawal was a lot of people were expecting that after withdrawals, people will unstake their ETH because now they have a chance. But at the same time, what happened was when people saw that withdrawals are enabled, then they're like, now I don't need to withdraw because I can withdraw at any time. Rather, people started staking more. So that was the whole reason, like if you see liquid staking intention was that it creates so much incentive for people to stake at the first place that they feel like comfortable about it rather than not staking it altogether. So Claystack is taking a very unique approach in terms of decentralizing the validator set. Like it's a journey, but we have a very clear path, which most protocols cannot have. So whenever protocols try to decentralize their validator set, they hit scalability issues because they require every validator to come with a high collateral or high bond requirement. What Claystack does is, one, we use a DVT-based architecture. It's a modular DVT-based architecture. We are the first ones to bring DVT live on mainnet. And even any other protocol who's trying to build on DVT, the minimum bond is like 4 ETH. What we have been able to do is we have been able to reduce that bond to 0 ETH. We have this unique mechanism called VFP, which is validator funding providers who can underwrite the capital risk or underwrite the bond for validators. So that ways, we do not hit any scalability issues. So for us, like we just launched the phase 1 with some of the great validators like Kill, A41, Hashquark, Instones, Stakin. So we're gonna have like more validators, and then the phase 2, as soon as the VFP is live, we can have home stakers to join the clusters, and they can actually join today on testnet so that they have performance, which we're gonna sync on layer 2 on chain. so that like when the VFP module is live, then the VFPs can see who are the top performing validators and they can underwrite that bond.